Stranger still are secrets. Mostly, however, I miss my friends. They are the true magic of the group. I see my life as a story, one I share with my book club. And though there are some surprises, there is no resolution. I am like you. My story could be yours. One day, quite suddenly, my story changed. The setting shifted. The characters were rocked. If this were a plot diagram, my plummet was off the paper. The only constant was the point of view. First person, me, looking outward and inward, and seeing nothing. I didn't see it coming. I guess that's what writers like to call the element of surprise. That jolt from nowhere that catapults the hero into a new direction. The old gun-in-the-drawer trick. Whether the story is a mystery, a romance, an adventure, a comedy, or a drama, in real life, it's a combination of all of the above. You just don't know what's coming next. For me, the change came on June 21st, 1997. On that day, the corpse fell through the roof. Chapter 1. All life is a story, and daily each of us collects stories. Rachel Jacobson, The Reading Group Handbook. June 21st, 1997. Eve Porter stepped out from her house into the brilliance of an early morning sun. She immediately raised her palm to shield her eyes. The piercing light was too strong. Inside her house was quiet and dark. Bronte and Finney were asleep in their rooms. The dog was whining, and she hadn't yet had a cup of coffee. Tom was prowling the rooms with nervous energy, gathering his work and packing last-minute items into his suitcase. Most mornings, Eve liked to linger over her coffee, open the windows to the fresh morning breezes, and relish her few moments of solitude before the family's demands pressed her into action. On this morning, Eve felt driven outdoors by her husband's prickly tension and a nagging guilt she resented. She needed some distance, just a bit of fresh air. Eve remembered the days when she stayed one step behind Tom as he prepared to go on a business trip. "Here are your tickets. I found your beeper. Can I order you a cab? Don't you want anything for breakfast? Let me refresh your coffee." She was his trusty sidekick, or as Tom often put it, he was the captain and she was the navigator. Lately, however, she felt the ship was going down. For no one reason she could articulate, she'd begun looking for lifeboats. It wasn't so much that she doubted the competence of Tom. It was just that the buttons of his jacket didn't shine quite as bright anymore. Or perhaps the voyage was just too long. Eve shook these mutinous thoughts out of her mind and stepped out into the morning air. "Today will be a good day," she said firmly, silencing her heart murmuring. "He will not ruin my day." She made her way toward the rustling breezes and birdsong in her garden, turning away from the closed, dark house. The early morning air smelled sweet, and the sun shone softly on the cheery colors of her perennial bed. She bent to admire droplets of dew cupped in the furry leaf of a lady's mantle. Today was the first day of summer, she realized, her spirits lifting like a kite. She loved milestones of any sort: birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, checks on the calendar, notches on a growth chart. Today would be special, brand new. She felt it deep inside. Summer was here with sunny days and balmy nights, the informality of barbecues and dips in the swimming pool. She was so relieved to have the grind of the school year finished. She missed playing with her children. She really should wake them to say goodbye to their father, but they were so tired. She'd let them sleep a bit longer. Finney had a football game at noon, and Bronte wanted